old members that have found their way back to the community. I need you just as much as you need me. In this evening's live, we have a lot of stuff to talk about, and not only crypto, but our basic crypto, as we know with XRP. We've broken below, well, some of us might not know, so this is very important. But we're down 2.2%, but it looks like we could have a close under that 58-cent threshold. That is very bearish. To be under 58 cents right now is very big danger. And technically, our first target should be around the 53.8 cent level if this is confirmed. Or the technical move down, which I think would be more likely. We'd probably come back down and test the bottom of the handle. But we very well could hold at that 53.8 cent roughly mark. So we would have to pay attention to that. But that's, we're coming into an area now where it becomes a little dangerous here. So if we look at the, just very quickly here, sorry, I'm about to yawn. Crypto makes you feel like that sometimes, especially when it's in the down, but there's some excitement here with the precious metals market, and it'll be interesting to hear if anybody's been paying attention to the commodities. But XRP right now, we really need to get back over this. I'm calling it it's like 58 cents, 58.1 cents. And as it comes up, it can be just a little bit higher as you continue going up. But this is going to draw to a very dicey conclusion here. A very, very interesting one if this breaks down because, you're talking about it's going to come down into these areas and it's going to be very interesting, these technical moves right now. So, what is going to win out here? Right now, it almost looks like the bearish proposition is playing out. It really does. This isn't looking great right now. And everything we start looking at, where does it play out to? Can it even get to April 24th without some kind of move? Is this just an overzealous push down? Because if it doesn't move down, we could certainly see maybe a double bottom at 567, which is interesting. We've had a death cross now confirmed, even if you're using the 50 cross and the 200 has just happened as well in the past one or two candles here. So it's pretty interesting. Bitcoin, it's not broken down, but one could argue that that's a big bear flag that's happened within here, and it's just a matter of time until it pushes down to 57,000. I understand the pattern setup, but, I'm going to be real here. Look at this. This doesn't look great. If Bitcoin, it's telling us it's coming down here if it breaks down. Now, that's a nice size bear flag there as well. So, we measured the size of the exo formation to get the targeted drop. How much we want to bet? Because, nothing is a coincidence, as ironic as it sounds. In technical analysis. How much you want to bet? I don't even know what I clicked on. Oh, the position thing. That this will end up being almost the exact same thing. If not close. It's measuring down into this area. See, this is an issue. We need to come down and retest this. What this tells me is we need to come down here and retest the broadening wedge. That was our breakout resistance. And it makes so much sense if we break down to come down there and retest it. It's around 57K where I have it. So, that's what I think is going on most likely. It came up, created a big M, and now it's time to pay the piper. So that's XRP, that's Bitcoin. We have XRPH that's up 14.3% today, which is nice to see. Well, depending on exchange, it just depends where the close was at. But 14.3% on MEXC, 12.6%. And that's our farther out on Bitmart. But it's up again, and we'll take a look at some of the areas on there as we get going. We'll take some reading here as well. As fear certainly grips the XRP market as liquidations top $6 million. And you'll come to find out 95% were long positions. So, pretty interesting. In the last 24 hours, that is, at least. Before that, they took out a lot of the shorts. So it's been a very, very tough day for the leverage traders. Now, the other side of the token here, our commodities, we've got gold up to $2,300, closing at an all-time high here. At least it's at an all-time high. We've got B2 gold up 4.44%. We bought at $2.44. We've got Newmont Mining. It's about to make a very serious move here, as we're not going to spend a lot of time on it. We'll come back to this later, but this is about to make a breakout that you'll see in the next chart with First Majestic. Same thing's about to happen. Now, we don't know when it's going to happen, but First Majestic, as I told everybody, at $5.38 that I wanted more exposure to silver, and now it's up better than 35% right now since I told everybody that. And today it's up better. And this is the exact same setup that we've got on Newmont Mining. And this one, the technical play-up's $9.21. And it's just it was a beautiful purchase. So at least with things going on in the market, we're up 18.4% today in First Majestic. Newmont, I feel, is just a hop, skip, and a jump away. And this is actually a bigger formation. Exact same structures. These are bullish reversals when it finishes. And you're going to see they all start to play the same way in time. And then not just that, the iSilver Trust, as you know, have a $360 call option for $29 by January of 25. And I took it out under $22. So as you can imagine, I'm up a little bit there as well. Silver's up over 27 bucks an ounce. So commodities very quietly here, along with precious metals, the actual gold and silver, very sneakily, with no attention from the media, is pushing here. Gold is well above all-time highs again. As we know, every time we make this new high, we're in discovery. And it's just incredible that nobody's talking about it on the mainstream. So hopefully within the audience, hopefully if you have, you'll let me know if anybody's taking advantage of any of that. Newmont Mining dividends over 4.2% right now. B2 Gold's down to 5.96, and First Majestic is 0.82. So nothing to write home about First Majestic, but nice silver mining company. Where's my phone at? But I want to do the intro here, and I do thank everybody for tuning in. I know it's quite bearish today, so I might throw a lot of people off, but it is what it is. So let me just do the intro. Please make sure to hit that like button so YouTube recommends the live. It'll help more and more people to find this community. It's very important to me. It'll allow YouTube, when YouTube recommends it, will pop up in the feeds. So it really would help push this. So I really, really appreciate everybody for doing that. And just thank everybody for being in here. So with that being said, good evening. 6:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Wednesday, April 3rd, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So we'll get into the charts here, and I thank everybody for tuning in. As unfortunately, XRP right now is breaking down out of some of these patterns. Let me find my phone real quick. I don't know where just so that I can say hi, because there's no way. I see there was like 100 people in here, even on a bearish day, which I greatly appreciate everybody who is showing due diligence to themselves by continuing to try to stay on top of the market and, not to be swayed out. A lot of information can be had when the markets are in these kind of moments. You kind of get to see what kind of pressure we have within the markets. So let me just say hello to everybody, and then I'll get on with this, and we'll get it, through what we need to get through. David, welcome in. I appreciate you tuning in. Simon, welcome in. Thanks for being in Tom's Army for 1 month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. XGTT, welcome in. Good evening to you. Jason Setta, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. Jeffers, welcome in. Mo Zahir, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XRP Meteor along with CJ2 Pilot. XGTT, welcome in. Dodger, thanks for being in Tom's Army for 1 month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Coffee and Crypto, welcome in. I'm glad you were able to catch the live. Ivan says, hello, Tom. Having trouble in New York, as some people know. Just gave into buying a digital residence out of Palau. Was wondering if you can spread the message as I'll be able to get through KYC. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what you mean. Matt, welcome in and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP predictor. JW, welcome in, my friend, and thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the XRP, or with the I Told You So badge. Thank you so much for that. And I hope you're doing well, JW. Wales, Josie Wales, welcome in. Do not send XRP to the XRP wallet. They had an update and nothing going through. I sent 37K shares. Block says it's complete, but no tokens are showing up. I'm not the only one. Interesting. I have not seen anything with that, but thank you for that, Wales, Josie Wales. I appreciate that info. And thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XRP Meteor. John, and if anybody else has, please let me know. Kyle Horak, John Hall, thank you both for being here. And Kyle, I'll buy again when it goes below 50 cents. Hey, we might get there, my friend. We might get there. Matt Holden, welcome in. I believe I already said hello to you as well. Will Rob, welcome in. Thank you for being in Tom's Army for 1 month with the emoji badge and me being abducted by aliens. Alan, Mario, welcome in. Jeffrey, Ben B, thank you both for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP predictor, along with Jason Setta as well. Anthony Latino, thank you for joining Tom's Army just now during the live in month 1. I greatly, greatly appreciate that show of support. That means a lot to me, my friend. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hello, Ben. Welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months. Familian, welcome. Invested EK. Endeavor Silver, now up 95% list. Wow, beautiful. Beautiful. I think we're caught up now. I think we're caught up. So I thank everybody for tuning in. Everybody who's paying that, actually showing the due diligence and continuing to watch the markets, even though, as we can see, we're in a bearish setup as we're starting to break down a little bit, or at least a bearish momentum here that's been picking up. And with XRP, I mean, it really does speak to the fact that if it breaks out of this formation, and we've got a death cross in the 4-hourly, it looks like we're starting to come down, and probably retest, if not 50 cents. It really looks like it's set up for the hold at 53.6 cents or 53.7. And this very well could happen. We're in this cup and handle formation, so that very well could happen. And the only reason it seems like it could very well break down rather than break up, it's the fact of what's going on the chart that started in the beginning of March. Like this chart, it's just breaking down. Every chance we had to kind of push up here, we haven't been able to have any sustainability, and now we can see the breakdown candle. We're coming below the 200-day, or the daily at 578. That's a very bearish close that we're about to set the precedent for here. And like, you could have a nice, it's not you could, you will have a correction here. And it's something I'm trying to stay out in front of. This is going to have a correction. I mean, even if you pull it out like this, there's no way to even try to justify that this pattern has stayed over this in any way. This is in fact breaking down, it looks like. And depending on how bearish you want to start looking at this, I would suggest we start looking at this pattern as we've been talking about, because if that handle support breaks, then it brings in a bunch of different problems, and that's down here. But we do have a technical move from a smaller part, but the move would be right here at 53.8 cents. So it's very tricky what's actually going to happen here. Like, I believe it's going to come down. It looks like it's going to come down to me. And every chance we had, we've talked about it has to get back over 62 cents. That's true, but even just to invalidate this little thesis here, we need to get back over 60.8 cents at the very least. Otherwise, it's pretty loudly speaking here what it wants to do. And it's not going to be that great. Like, if it breaks down just from here, it's going to come and retest the bottom of this. And the problem is here is it's showing that head and shoulders. And now we invalidated, like I've said, if we came down this far, and you might not know because you might not have been here in the past, but if it comes down too far, you invalidate this head and shoulders, because then it comes too far. It's come too far, I believe. The head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right, this is going to play out now, and it's going to come down here. The best it can do is hold right here, I believe. Trading with J-Ride, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 badge. I greatly appreciate that, my friend. Greatly appreciate that. Sean Crothers, my main man from Maine, welcome in. I greatly appreciate seeing you in the audience. I thank everybody for tuning in. I do, I really do. Makes me happy to see over 100 people here on a day like today, because it's let's face it, mentally, a lot of people are starting to get beaten down. I know a lot of leverage traders that are trying to make easy money. Like I said, in the last 24 hours, 95% of leverage traders have got liquidated. And a lot of those 5% are just cross traders, so they're probably down 100, 200, 300% right now, but their positions are open. And then I'm not sure of any that are up right now, because it's impossible. No matter where you take it, you're down right now. Unless you're talking about a small couple of minutes here. But this price action, the technical move, and why technical analysis is so important. When you start seeing these levels start breaking down, let me get rid of this so it's easier to see. But when you start seeing these levels breaking down on different charts and different time periods, it's not good. It's not good. So, you know, you start to look at it as a whole. It's not good when you start to look at it. Might as well just take this off. Well, that's if it ever breaks up. But this isn't great at all. And then if you actually look at this chart too, this was the pivot point at 64.2 cents. All we said is just get over it and hold, please. When it was creating this head and shoulders right here, and it could not. And the problem is our whole thing about how bullish we were coming up is that we at least had to hit 75 cents, even if we got rejected when it was at 48. Well, we don't need to do that anymore. So now we need to see how much support we have. You know, now we need to see how much support we have. That left shoulder, head, 77-month resistance. Right shoulder, pivot point. Not great. Not great. And now we've invalidated this pattern. So now it becomes interesting. Now it becomes interesting. And now we're below the 200-day. It's nothing that we haven't been talking about. It's just, it sucks that we decided to take this route, you know, because now it makes it more long-term. This could be a little bit of pain here. And depending on how much they want to put us through, you know, there's just different ways of looking at the pattern. This is the market cap. Another major thing is we fell outside that rising channel. We fell through the extension zone even. And now it seems to suggest 22.65 billion. If that's the case, do we know what that means for the XRP price action? Well, I do. It's something that I've been hesitating to even keep on here because I don't want to piss people off. But, you know, we have to be realistic, and it's just something I've been talking about. And I've even been giving it the short stick here. You know, and what I mean by that is I didn't come all the way over here. I'm just coming over here. So at least I'm not giving you the maximum drop. But if you want to be realistic, I mean, it's kind of speaking to a drop down here, and it makes it unbelievable. Because then, if I don't give us the short end of the stick, and I say, well, the entire size of this, you know, if we break down, because what doesn't break up breaks down, that's 38 cents. Well, what the hell is around that area, right? I ask myself. Well, Tom, if it's going to break down there, what the hell is it pointing to? Well, I'm glad everybody asked. I'm glad you all were so educated, the 125 people in here that asked me that question. What is down there is this. This is down here, right here. This. Well, for anybody who's new, well, what is this? What is this? Well, this is the all-time pattern uptrend from when we went to all-time highs right up here at $3.30 to $3.50 depending on exchange. This one was around $3.30 because it's Bitstamp. From then in January of 2018 when it all-time highs, took 27 months to where I circled down here. Let me just take this out so it's easier. Where I circled, it took 27 months to find the floor. That's March of 2020. Then we had a little rally. Boom. Retested that uptrend when the lawsuit was announced. Then bam. From 59 cents and in 9 days, we got up to $1.98. Second hit of resistance. Boom. Support. support in 22 and 23, bounced up to resistance, confirming this pattern. And this pattern can technically last until December or January of 2025. December of 24, January of 25. Well, if we got rejected there and it hasn't broken down by any means yet, but let's just say worst case scenario, that means it can come all the way back down to the pattern. Remember, it was pointing to 38 point something cents, 38.2. Well, this uptrend's right at about 38.7 cents. Is it possible that we're trying to get this front run here by this pattern breaking down, and if we just measure it without giving it any benefit of the doubt, and you guess it, you know, like we see where it could end up. It's just interesting when you start to look at it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I'm not saying that it's any reason to get all frustrated or anything. I'm just saying it's there's a lot of levels here. I personally don't want to break down there. I'd personally like to believe that this short pattern is not going to matter because the longer term cup and handle will actually save the day, and that's what I'm banking on here. That this will hold this pattern and it won't break down. I'm hoping that there's enough buyers here that it'll hold it in the handle support, because if that happens, sooner rather than later, we're looking at a potentially big breakout here to over $1.20. So that's why I'm hoping that this actually plays out and we come down to support, but it can actually hold here on the handle, because down here, this whole area is the handle support. It's just when you get down below this yellow line, that's danger zone, because then you can have the drop all the way down to here. You stay above here, the 62, about 40 right now, it's good. You get over this little extended area from the pattern we're in, it's even better. But right now, it looks like the head and shoulders pattern is unfortunately taking over as we were trying to invalidate the inverted head and shoulders pattern. But you could be creating a W reversal. See, you can look at the positive here too. Sure, we've looked at the negative side just in case, because, you know, I'd rather be able to duck and cover instead of, you know, not be able to do anything. But what if it does this? Oh, what if it does this? You know, what if you did something like that? That's the bullish prospect here. It's possible. It's possible it's working on a W reversal. It's obviously invalidated if it makes the drop. So we'll see what the market makers have in store for us. We will certainly see what the market makers have in store with us sooner rather than later. So I'd love to know what everybody thinks about that. I'd love to know. I know a lot of people asked me to talk about Flare earlier, but the bottom line is with Flare, I love Flare. I do, like the next guy. Flare's got a huge circulating supply. So it was great to see Flare running earlier, but I didn't get excited because I know what happens all the time. You know, they have these run-ups at first, and then eventually it does make the move we want. But Flare had a big move up, and the entire move, it gave it back. So, but it hit the resistance around 5 cents we've been talking about. So it's not, there's no surprise. It's trying to do what it needs to do, but this pattern evolved in a way. It still hit the resistance, which is funny. It still hit the resistance we talked about. It just came through, and it's trying to work on an inverted head and shoulders pattern. So this is actually initially doing what we would have wanted with XRP. Boom, boom, boom. But look what's starting to happen. Is it going to break this now? Because it could very well push this back through, and then it invalidates it just like XRP. Initially, XRP looked like it was going to play it true as well. But as we know, you know, that's not exactly what happened now. So, but Flare, it's got a chance here. It's just, it's got to have a continuation here. I'll be interested to see how this plays out. I need to reload this. I'll be interested to see how this all plays out. What did you miss? Honestly, I've been on for 25 minutes. It's going to be hard for me to just say in one quick breath what I missed. If you are watching, please make sure to hit that like button so that YouTube will recommend this live. There's a fair majority of people that have not hit that like button yet. If you respect the time I'm putting in here and you understand the toll it takes, as this is what is this? My 1,000. I can figure out the math real quick. It's roughly, what, 1,060 days in a row here. I've been doing this, these lives and updates without taking a day off, as I've just hit my 3-year anniversary on March 31st of this year. And I've never missed a day here on YouTube. So please hit that like button so that YouTube will recommend these lives and it'll help me push through. Tanya, welcome in, love, and thank you for being in Tom's Army for over a year. I greatly appreciate that. And let's take a look at H-bar as it's down 0.76% today. We've absolutely come down to the low support. And this is why when everybody asks, a lot of people ask, Tom, what's the importance of technical analysis? Well, just because if you understand technical analysis, you know the moves. So right now, we know the up target, but if it breaks down, it's a lofty one. So you don't really want it to break down because it can come all the way back through here. This is where we could get a big breakdown in some of these cryptos if it plays out. But if it plays true, it should come back up. So just like with XRP, we could be at a point here with the relative strength that we should be playing back up here. I don't anticipate this to break through here. I'm expecting support, resistance, support, resistance, support. Even if it's playing through, I expect this because it's on a bullish handle here as well. You wouldn't expect this to come all the way back down and reset. You wouldn't. Could it happen? Sure. Look how big that head and shoulders pattern is. It absolutely could. But I don't want it to. I don't think anybody does. Now, the one thing we could hold our hat on is just saying, well, I understand that it had this parabolic move, but see, that even brings it down there. So it needs to hold these areas. Otherwise, you find yourself in a little bit of dangerous and a precarious spot here, if I may say so myself. It's going to be interesting. Right now, we're in a holding part of the pattern. So if we can hold this, I know we have a death cross in the 4-hourly, but technically, if we can hold this support here at 10 cents, there's a lot of potential in a lot of these charts. Even XRP, if you could break back to the upside, that's a 24% move back to the top side resistance. So it's going to be very dicey here. But what did DGB probably tell us what's going on here? DGB went all the way up to 228, hit our resistance. And as we always say, it's very rare that you break out of a long-term pattern, no matter how strong the move is, to where you don't come back and back test it. So DGB broke out of this, boom, and now doesn't it look like it's come back down to the 135, or maybe even down to the down in this area to try to retest now. It really looks like it's trying. So, just pay attention to the way these patterns are. XLM, same thing. They're all giving back and starting to fall into dangerous spots because now XLM suggests that it's going to come back down to the bottom of the formation. And that's where it gets dangerous in these patterns. You can hit this uptrend and maybe it's trying to confirm this. But now you've fallen back within a pattern. If you break this, then you come all the way down. We put ourselves in a pretty interesting spot. If XRP holds 50 cents, or 53, I should say, in that area, I expect XLM would hold right there between 50 and 53. Yep, no. AMP, that's a good one. I'm glad Tanya brought that up. AMP is one that we should be paying attention to because it's starting to break down. A lot of people know I bought AMP at 4.8 or 0048, so just under half a penny. And very quickly, in the audience, a lot of people bought it because I talked about it in the live. I said I felt like a couple 100% move was coming. I showed it in the charts. But it moved up like 350%. And I sold it. But this was my interpretation here. And that's where I wanted to buy it. Everybody should know. I haven't showed it in a couple of days, but I sold out at 1.8 cents. And I put that money, ironically, in the First Majestic and Newmont Mining. So that worked out very well for me because First Majestic right now is up over 35% since I did that. And this has come down, as we know. I would have lost. And this is what I mean by taking profits from crypto and not putting it in wait a minute, what the hell is this? That's Gala. I don't want Gala. Gala's going to have a big drop, though. But I was going to say, that's not the chart. But Gala, that's one I can't wait if it comes down there. I was going to say 1.6 cents. There's no way it could still be there. Which chart did I have on here for AMP? Well, I kind of want to say it was this one. No, it wasn't. Ah, we can work with it. We can work with it. But AMP, it's kind of, ooh, AMP's interesting, but with the current flow of the market, man, I'm excited about that Gala chart though. That chart is starting to form exactly like I thought it would. If Gala, I'm just telling everybody, if Gala goes down to 1.4 cents, I am probably going to buy 100,000 tokens to get out in front of it. I'm just being honest, to get out in front of the gaming con that's coming up. If we really get that big of a pullback on Gala, I'm going to be, oh my God, I would be, that would be unbelievable. You know, I'll talk more about Gala later. I will. But I just don't feel like it's the right moment to talk about it. Because I think if I do, more people will buy it, and then it's just going to go way down. Anyhow. And then they're going to be holding the bag. All right. Me and you both, Tanya. See, you understand. AMP's another one, though. AMP came all the way. Look at it. It's forming a pattern for us. See, this is what I like. I like when they actually form us something so I can see what the hell's going on. What's the actual price, though, is my question. Ooh, it's back up to 1 cent now. Damn it. I remember when I told everybody I was going to buy when it came back down to the 200-day. And it did. It came almost. I remember I put a target down at like under 9 cents, like 8.5. But now we need to see if this breaks down or not. Because technically, and there's a reason I have this here, the uptrend is technically showing the all-time trend that somewhere back down in here. But if we look at the more recent trend that was created, which is absolutely what you have to do, otherwise you're not doing the proper technicals, you can have the other one down there in case it breaks down. But really, if we're looking at this from a long, drawn-out standpoint, I mean, I could argue that the uptrend rate here could be an overextended drop at 70075. But right now, we are putting in a reversal candle. It looks like. It might not be the reversal candle everybody expects. Because right now, it looks like a bearish one. That looks like a bear. Actually, that looks like a gravestone kind of setting up there. That's bearish. It's disguised as a bullish continuation candle, but it's actually looks pretty bearish here. Unless it closes up at 1.1, which I'll bet you by the time we get down there, it's probably not up 5.6% by the time the close happens. I'd say it's fair to say, let's take a look. Then we got to get into more stuff, but I know I've been not showing this as much. Let's see. Yeah, maybe it could run back up a little bit. Maybe it could. We'll see. We'll see what happens here, but this needs to hold this 8.8. It needs to. This is at a big consolidation, though. So, I mean, it's speculative where you would do this. I speculated at the area. Why is it way up there? Sorry, I have to put that in the exact spot, just so I can see this. Okay. I mean, that's what we're looking at. So if it comes back up, the resistance is 122. So let's say this bounces off. It's right around 1 cent. That's like 22%. Yeah, so 23 approximately. If this consolidates, if this keeps consolidating, let's say it gets a little bit of a push down, it might not be a bad option to start piling in here. It's already down from the top at 1.95. Right now we're down 48%. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I'm kind of uneasy feeling right now because I think Bitcoin is trying to tell us a bigger story here. And it's nice, though, because it does have like a kind of a W here that could have snuck in the short term, but it's just overextended right now. Maybe it did bounce off of that uptrend. If it bounced off that uptrend, like I said, that's our one saving grace. But right now, it looks like a bear flag is setting up. And with that topping reversal pattern, I mean, if somebody disagrees, please let me know. But that looks like a reversal pattern there. So if that plays out, then we'd be like, oh, well, there's the head and shoulders. How do we not see it? Well, we did. Right? We did see it. It's just we didn't want to see it. And then this would suggest we retest the broadening wedge. They are. A lot of them are gone, Tanya. I don't know what ARPA is, so I do not have any thoughts on it because I can't give my thoughts on something that I would just be giving BS on. I don't want to lie to you about something. So unfortunately, I don't know. And this is nice because this is trying to fight. So if we did get a rejection here, I'm just trying to make sure if it breaks down out of this pattern, we know what we're dealing with. Or if it breaks up, I want to see, because somebody mentioned the wallet. I want to see if there's like any issues to turn it on or anything like that. Yeah, I don't have any issues logging on or anything. I don't know when somebody sent it, but the last time I sent some was to stake was April 2nd when it went down to that correction, when it was rounding that bottom. I got 1,923 more when I sent it over. I didn't have an issue, so I haven't had any problems, but take into consideration from what some have said, just in case. Now the obvious thing here as well is that we could be putting a head and shoulders, and then maybe we can start coming back down here. I'm begging it to come back down. We've got some time here. I want to keep piling into this until July when MEXC has their KYC have to go into effect for USA users. So I want to keep piling in. Yeah, Kryptonian, I've talked about it a ton of times. I get monthly airdrops, or monthly delegation, I should say, of 4 point whatever % with Flare. I talk about it every single month when I get it. By having it on Uphold, you get it automatically. I don't have to do anything. It just shows up every single month. Uphold does it as well. You say on Bifrost. So that's beautiful. That's beautiful. No, I don't have to use MEXC, but every other option I have, except for one, is all... And even the one option, you can't do any kind of verification or anything, but all of them are not available in the USA. I've already tried them all for XRPH. So the only other one is the L Bank, but that one I don't know as much about. My hair is going to be down to my knees. Yeah, so for the one saying that, I said I wouldn't cut my hair last July until XRP hit $1, just to prove a point. And yeah, it's getting pretty long, right? It's on 10 months now. 10 months. I've talked about Flare a lot. I've talked about Flare. I should talk about it more. I talked about it today. We've talked about it today, Flare. And I think Flare, it's an amazing thing. It's just, I think a lot of people give up their hopes like it's going to be, it's kind of like when we talk about pricing of XRP. Does anybody know? I'm just asking. I want to know, does anybody know how many Flare and total circulating supply of Flare there will be? I want to know how many people who talk about Flare actually know. I'm just curious. Who knows? Hopefully it won't be crickets. We should... Hey, there's nothing wrong with Shiba, though. There's nothing wrong with Flare either. I like Flare. I'm invested. I bought into Flare at 0.007 cents. We all did. If you guys were watching me on FOMO Fridays and Winning Wednesdays. There you go, Matt. Thank you. 36.8 billion. Yep, thank you, Sean. So there's a lot. There's a lot of total circuit. I knew somebody would say it. If not, I would have just typed it in so everybody could see I wasn't just talking. But what we're looking at here is potentially a breakdown from here, from this formation. This is more of an ascending formation. These don't exactly make you feel bullish when they start pushing these in. Just my opinion. And we can easily see the size of this too. And it should bring us down to the uptrend. Like, it should bring us down around the uptrend. So for anybody trying to load up on flare, if it's going to do this, you know, you could get a little bit. And this is just the short patterns here. But it's very possible, if it holds this support, that this is a fake topping pattern. But we have to be aware with flare right now. That could be a left shoulder, the M topping reversal. Now, if it just does something, I mean, it could come down here and reset. That really, it could. A lot of the patterns are showing this kind of same setup. What you want to see, notice how a lot of crypto are in that ascending formation. What you want to see, ironically, is like how First Majestic, the silver mining stock we bought, at $5.36, or if you bought it. What you want to see is this kind of a setup. Notice how we're in an ascending formation with the crypto. Look at this. That's a descending consolidation. Descending triangle. That's a bullish or a bullish reversal. Those are bullish reversals, and it's starting to happen. The measured move was measured before, but now it's starting to break out so I don't look like such an idiot like when I used to talk about it. And that's what you want to see in crypto. Like Newmont Mining, how this is in a descending formation. These are mining stocks. Another large silver producer and also gold. This is one of the world's largest mining producers. But again, that descending formation, this hasn't broke out like First Majestic, but it's in the exact same consolidation. So that's what you want to see. You want to see the descending formations. B2 Gold, same thing, much wider, and it hasn't even made the move yet. These are what you want to see, these descending consolidations. It came right to the uptrend, and this is what I'm trying to show with cryptos as well. It doesn't just have these patterns for no reason. Look at this. All the way across, all the way from 2016, support, 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 all the way up, support, all the way up, support. Like, it always comes back and hits the all-time formation when you start to get into an uptrend. This would have been the all-time uptrend, no matter if you wanted to say the pattern's parabolic, no matter if you wanted to say it didn't matter. And now we're fighting with the same kind of things. Is this a big boom, boom? Or is this a bullish continuation and now we're going to reverse back up because it's in that descending structure? You know, there's a lot of conflicting things right now across all markets. But the one thing I can tell you is silver is one of the most, silver is one of those things you just can't make up. This is just, when you talk about a perfect inverted head and shoulders, and then we're going to get off this because I got a lot to talk about. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and now it's pulling up. This thing's about to go skyrocketing. Silver is going to make people's, nobody's talking about gold and silver. A lot of people are talking about crypto. It's all over the main stage. It's all over social media. It's all over the main networks. And that's the truth. Nobody's talking about gold and silver. Nobody's talking about precious metals. Nobody's talking about the commodities. And they're just slow. I mean, one day, it's the same thing as I always say. It's nice to have both sides of the coin. So let's get on as we're getting long into this live already. If you do appreciate my work, please make sure to hit that like button so YouTube recommends this live. And if you do want to show support, consider sending one YouTube super chat per month as we're in the beginning of the month, or consider joining Tom's Army. I'd greatly appreciate it. If you're looking to trade XRP in the USA especially, and you don't want to use a VPN to buy XRP, or you just want to find a way to spot and leverage trade it, be careful leverage trading. As we're going to go into, 95% of longs have been liquidated. But that's BITUNIX. It's in the video description below. Get into it so that you can buy in high times of volatility. Please. It would make a lot of sense. On Uphold right now, it's about 51 differential. If I spend $1,000 on Uphold compared to BITUNIX, I get 51 less XRP, which is about a 5.1 or a $37. It's about a $37 fee, which is about 3.7%. So take a look at that, please. On AA, all you have to do is you have to find an exchange. So like Uphold does it. That's the one that I keep it on. Not that I'm suggesting that one. Somebody else already said Bifrost, I believe it was. But you shouldn't have to do anything. The exchange, it should be delegated right to you by holding it. But let's read this. Let's read this now. Fear grips XRP market as liquidations top 6 million. Details. So the cryptocurrency market continues to feel the tremors of a brutal April Fool's Day price crash, with XRP taking a significant hit in the last 24 hours. A staggering 6 million in XRP contracts were liquidated. According to CoinGlass data, this liquidation frenzy can be attributed to the sharp price decline experienced by XRP on April 1st. The new month began with XRP trading around 61 cents. However, a domino effect triggered by Bitcoin's plunge below 67,000 sent shockwaves through the market, dragging down XRP along with other major cryptocurrencies. Looking deeper into the liquidations data, a clear trend emerges. A whopping 5.6 million of the liquidated contracts were long positions, indicating that traders who bet on XRP's price increasing were forced out of their positions. Conversely, short positions which profit from decreases saw a significantly smaller liquidation of $324,200. Interesting, the situation on the spot market where actual cryptocurrency is bought sorry, my throat was a little dry. Where actual cryptocurrency is bought and sold presented a contrasting picture. XRP's trading volume surged by nearly 60% during the same period when these hefty liquidations occurred. While a surge in volume might suggest increased buying activity, a closer look reveals a dominance of selling pressure. The price action suggests that a significant portion of this volume resulting in selling rather than accumulation. This trend of rising volume alongside a falling price indicates that the downward momentum for XRP might persist. If this selling pressure continues unabated, analysts predict a potential drop in XRP's price towards the 55 support level. With the conditions in play, XRP's future appears uncertain. The token faces the risk of getting caught in a market bloodbath. However, it is important to acknowledge dissenting viewpoints. Some analysts hold a different perspective and predict a potential short-term upside for XRP with the price target of 74 cents. So, and then I want to read this as well because it's part of the same kind of narrative here. XRP stable funding rate amidst bearish sentiment. Meanwhile, amidst the bearish sentiment, a glimmer of optimism emerges from technical analysts. Despite the high liquidation value, XRP's funding rate has remained stable. In simpler terms, a positive funding rate implies that traders holding long positions expecting a price increase are currently paying a premium to hold those holding short positions expecting a price decrease. This can be interpreted in two ways. It could suggest, oh, Anthony, thank you for the donation. I'll get to that in just a second. First YouTube super chat of the evening. I greatly appreciate that show of support, my friend. So very much. It could suggest that some traders still believe in a potential XRP price increase. Or it could indicate that short sellers are willing to pay a premium to maintain their bearish positions. That's what I'm kind of leaning on. New Bitcoin analysis indicates that XRP's funding rate currently sits at 0.030, slightly higher than the predicted rate of the 0.029. Should the funding rate hold positive while the price continues to decline, those holding long positions might not receive the usual funding payments. This scenario, here, Julie, I'll pick that up for you. I'll pick this up. The paper towels fell. Here you go. Oh, okay.
I just took what I wanted.
Sounds good, my love. I just wanted to pick that up because it fell over.
Thank
You're welcome. Not receive the usual funding payment. This scenario could further exacerbate the bearish bias and empower aggressive sellers. Anthony Capitini. Thank you. I love the name, by the way. Thank you so much for the $10 donation. And also being in Tom's Army for month one with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Yes, Shuri Bob, that's my face superimposed on that emoji badge. So I proudly and greatly appreciate you supporting that. Silver and Bitcoin have about the same market cap. I believe it. I believe it. So that's so should the funding rate hold positive and the price continues to decline, those holding long positions might not receive the usual funding payments. This scenario could further exacerbate the bearish bias and empower aggressive sellers. So as we're seeing, a bearish bias is building here. The more fear, though, the better. But it looks like we really do need a small drop here in XRP. Let's see if there's any other headlines we should cover here while we're all together. Bitcoin is the beta test coin. It was created by an NSA CIA department to test feasibility and utility of a digital token. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. Ooh, some conflicting. See? Analysts say XRP price is ready to break out. Here are the targets. Crypto analyst Agreg Crypto has stated that a breakout could be on the horizon. For the XRP price, he also outlined price targets that the crypto token could hit if this price breakout were to happen successfully. Greg mentioned that an X post that the next price target for XRP is 0.702 and 0.786. However, the crypto analyst failed to give a timeline when this price breakout could happen. He also raised the possibility of short-term move to the downside, but quickly added that it has no impact on XRP's long-term trajectory. Regarding XRP's long-term target, the accompanying chart that Gregg shared, the XRP could still rise to seven. No. We're not going to go into $7.50. That's just bad reporting. I'm more interested in kind of fall below 50 cents just because what we know is showing us a drop down potentially, and worst case scenario down in that 38-cent range. And as we know, that's the uptrend right now. So I'm more interested to see that. All right. So Ripple XRP price analysis. Can it fall below 50 cents? The Ripple XRP USD price is in an uncertain phase. The 7-day RSI shows it's not overbought or oversold, indicating fiat investor interest. The situation worsened as the 7-day moving average of daily active addresses fell by 10% in just 4 days. See, this is good information. This suggests that, this is the difference between real technical analysis and actually looking at indicators and somebody just pushing out I don't even know what the narrative is, because even the resistance marks were off base. They're not even resistance levels. This suggests a bearish trend in network activity. Additionally, a death cross in the EMA lines hints at a possible strong downtrend. This signals investors in XRP to be cautious. RSI is currently neutral. XRP market shows signs of investor disinterest. Its 7-day relative strength index, RSI, is at 49.5. This number is near, I'm sorry, somebody typing in the names made me laugh, is near the RSI spectrum's middle. It indicates a lukewarm sentiment towards XRP without strong buying or selling momentum. The RSI measures price movement speed and changes. It changes from 0 to 100. An RSI above 70 means an asset is overbought and may fall. What do you want, Kitty? You want to go outside? Come on, Kitty. Here, Kitty. Yes, Ghost. I hear you, Kitty. Let me get your food. Hold on. I know, let me get your food. I know. I know you're going to go outside. Sorry about that. That was my cat. Some of you know Ghost. She has no patience. So the RSI measures price movement speed changes. It ranges from 0 to 100. An RSI above 70 means an asset is overbought and may fall. Below 30 suggests it's oversold and could rise. Therefore, XRP's current RSI signals a market equilibrium that translates into a lack of compelling interest among traders. This apathy is further shown by the fact that the current RSI value is the lowest recorded since February 28th. Such a dip to clear mid or near mid-range levels from any side suggests a cooling off of prior enthusiasm or pessimism, potentially marking the beginning of a bearish phase for Ripple. By implying a weakening in buying pressure, a failure to attract new interest, this downturn in the RSI can be interpreted as a bearish signal for XRP, cautioning investors about the possibility of diminishing returns. XRP has shown a fascinating correlation between daily active addresses and its price. Initially, from March 7th to 11th, there was a significant increase in daily active addresses, rising 29,246 to 37,724. This surge in network activity coincided with a notable increase in XRP's price, which skyrocketed from 61 to 72 cents. However, this trend saw a reversal when by March 20th, daily active addresses dropped to 26,848, accompanied by a decrease in XRP's price to 57 cents. Further reinforcing the connection between network activity and price valuation, the recent period from March 29th to April 2nd has presented a continuation of this trend, with the 7-day moving average of daily active addresses declining from 33,684 to 30,559, a 10% decrease. This decrease indicates a dwindling interest in Ripple, as few addresses engage in transactions on the network. Given the observed correlation between these two metrics over the last few months, the drop in daily active addresses could herald further price corrections for Ripple. XRP price prediction: a death cross could bring the price to less than 50 cents. The XRP 4-hour price chart recently unveiled a significant technical pattern on April 1st, the formation of a death cross. A death cross occurs when a shorter-term EMA crosses below a longer-term EMA. EMA lines or exponential moving averages are vital indicators that smooth out price data to reveal trend direction over specific timeframes. And me personally, I like to take the first hint when the 20 crosses the 200. A lot of people like to get the confirmation with the 50 crossing the 200. Both have happened. This event is traditionally seen as a bearish signal, suggesting that the current price momentum is weakening and could indicate a potential downturn for XRP's price. Moreover, the increasing distance between the two EMA lines further reinforces the bearish trend, signaling that the selling pressure is intensifying and the negative sentiment is gaining strength. Should this bearish trend persist, XRP's price will likely test critical support levels at 54 and 53 cents. Failing to hold these levels could push the price down to test a more substantial support at 49. And that would make sense because that's the handle support right down in that area. Conversely, if a reversal occurs, an uptrend begins, XRP's price could challenge the resistance levels around 66 and even higher at 70 cents. So that's exactly what we should be looking at tonight. I feel pretty good about this whole analysis. I'm going to call this a day here so that I can let my voice rest. There's not much more to talk about in the market. I've gone through everything I wanted to this evening. We'll let the market start playing out like it has been. Let it play out like it should. The XRP Bitcoin pairing right now. It's in a sense that we're breaking down here. And that could mean the pairing comes down to 709. I know on a linear scale, it looks more bullish than it is. But as I'm looking at it in a typical scale, non-linear, this is, it looks to me like it's breaking down. And the technical target here, it's got a rather substantial drop. And it almost speaks to where we're kind of falling bearish here, to be honest. It's kind of falling bearish here. So, I'm not sure what everybody else is feeling. I'd love to know before I leave. Are you feeling bearish or bullish right now? Bearish or bullish? And please make sure to type in the chat, hashtag be better, do better, if you made it until the very end. Oh, you're welcome, JW. For me and Julie. You are welcome. Hashtag be better, do better. Indeed. Indeed. Oh, yeah, and with Gala, what I'm excited about, And remember, there's a few. Remember what I said where, what did I say about AMP would probably fall down to 9.6, 9.7 before the close? Maybe even lower. That's what I was talking about because it was designed as a bullish push, but this is really a bearish proposition here. That looks more like a gravestone, so don't be trapped there in that formation unless this were to come all the way down and then push up real quick. But right now, this looks like a bearish proposition for AMP. And I wouldn't be surprised if it came down to this uptrend. I'm almost anticipating the 0075. If not worse, we'll see. So, but other than that, watch WaxP as well as I'm very happy to see it coming back down. This is another one for GameCon that we have to pay attention to. I talked about it before the move up, so some might have capitalized. But 6 cents right now is where we'll be looking at. We'll revisit this around 6 cents because that's where I believe it's going. The more I look at this, the more I believe that crypto's about to have a nice little cool off here, and it's not going to be pretty. So you can all make an educated and informed decision. If you want to liquidate now, even in XRP or up, a substantial amount will go back to Gala. So you have to make an educated and informed decision what you want to do. If you bought XRP at 34 cents when we did, you're outside of a year. So the tax hit's only going to be 35% or 15% right now instead of 35. You have to make that decision. I can't make any decisions. You're up 63, 65% right now. Or you have to make a decision if this is something that's worth holding for the future and continuing to buy in. So just make sure that you make an educated decision. There's a lot of our stuff that's up 200-300% still. As far as VeChain is still up over 150%. Zill's up 100%. DGB's up 100%. HBAR's up 100% still. Casper is not even really moved that much now that it's come back down. You know, a lot of this stuff is still up. Algo is a big one right now. It's still up by 130%. But if they lose these major formations, these death crosses are speaking to us for a reason. If this happens, these are going to come right back down. And essentially, all the profits are going to go away. And then you have to make a decision. You know? So I can't tell you what to do. But I can only tell you, you've got an educated and informed soul searching here to do with yourself to see how much you really love crypto and would you hold if it comes back through your buy-in. If you won't hold, if you're down at all, you might as well take the profits now. Simple philosophy. You can't go wrong by taking profits and waiting for the correction. Because right now this looks bad. It does. It looks bad. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This looks like a hell. If you look at Bitcoin, it doesn't look good. Overextended like a son of a bitch. Basically, Bitcoin's behind the altcoins right now. And it's a pretty defined pattern. The fact it came up and created the M now has me nervous. Because now it's ready to have that correction. If Bitcoin corrects from here, I'm telling you, if I had to lean, 75% chance we break down right now. 75%, let that sink in. 75% chance that we break down right now. Before we start pushing back up to new higher highs. In this routine. Not saying all the time, I'm talking about in this current structure. So, understand what that means. If you've got money to the side, get ready because we could be very quickly revisiting that 38.7 cent level if we lose that handle support at 49.4 cent roughly. So, and if this is speaking to us at all, Gala, I've been talking about this for a while. This looks like the market is ready. Gala just did it quick. But this was my prediction here for Gala where I wanted to buy for Gaming Con. I said I'm not getting caught up in this right now. But I've got a lot of stuff that I very well could take profit. You know, I very well could. And we're about to get to that make it or break it point on some of them that I hold that are in a little more dire situation than XRP. I mean, if this does this properly, you're talking about a correction that'll bring it all the way down here. Remember, what doesn't go up comes down. The fact that this wouldn't have come all the way down could have been a bump and run. And not a bullish bump and run. I almost feel like that's what it... I feel like this is what I'm supposed to say. I feel like right now, we have to really watch to see if this is a fake out. But every signal right now is telling us this is more than just something. This is more than just something right now. Every indicator here is telling us be careful. I seen that, Kryptonian. I like that they have that. They also have like the AI basket and a couple different ones. So that was pretty interesting to see. So they had like Tao and some of the other ones put in the same basket, which was interesting as well. But I want to know. I want to know by the 106 people who are here. Do you think we're breaking down here in crypto? Too much. There's too much greed right now. Holy hell. I'm telling you, there's some signs here that we're about to have a major shuffle here. A major one. Alan Milikowski, thank you for the $2 donation. His first YouTube super chat. I greatly appreciate that. I greatly appreciate that show of support. You're welcome. I don't like to sugarcoat it, so I'm glad you appreciate that approach. And the other thing that makes me feel like that's a pretty nice price target down there right now for Gala. And it's scary, I get it, but there's a reason I'm not holding it right now, and I really want to. Oh, I really want to. Because this is what in my heart of hearts I know. If it's going to get cut off, I'll at least get a chance right here. I would at least get a chance right here. So maybe it's not going to be as bad as I think. Right? Maybe it's not going to be as bad as I think. But I'm just looking for that all-time uptrend. You know, if it comes back down to 1.5, my God. Hopefully zero. Hopefully zero that we see 28 cents, my friend. I hopefully zero, because if you see 28 cents, you invalidate a 77-month consolidation, and now you revisit the 2017 uptrend. That's not a good thing. You don't want to invalidate the structure, Ron. If that happens, we'd probably be more likely to go down to 4 cents than not. If you invalidate the structure we're in for the last 77 months, that could be our historical drop that we were seeing before in the sub 20 cents. You know, that's not out of the woods yet. You know, that can still happen. That's not off the table. And I've been very clear about that. It's just you can't keep talking about that and not buy for rallies. If that's your whole insight is to just buy sub 20, then you might as well just shut the market off until we do the whole entire cycle. And then you start buying and start paying attention after the move, you know, because then you can get your own mind conflicted in a different way. But there's a lot of low targets that can very much be on the table until that 77-month consolidation breaks at 38 cents, roughly 38.4. It's impossible. If that 77-month consolidation goes bearish, 28 cents isn't going to be the worst of it. You're going to get sub 20 easy. I keep telling everybody we're only one ball step away here from a major catastrophe. There's a reason why I'm shifting a little bearish, not in the grand term, but in this short move, because we're going to get a nice test here. Whether XRP tests and holds 53 or 50, it's coming. It's coming. The whole market's got a nice test of it. And you know what speaks to me a lot that this is happening? And that something's not right is what precious metals is doing. There's no talk or buzz about it, and commodities are just having great time right now from the bottom. So if that bottom's starting to reverse, if something's going on that doesn't meet the eye, you know, so I think we're getting a shakeout here that's happening, and it's just starting. We're just starting a pretty nice shakeout here. But I think a lot of people are buying right now just thinking that, oh, this is it. The problem is it's not, because we're below the key support. John Sampson, yes, we're not done dropping yet, but we'll have an altcoin season within 12 weeks. I agree with that, and thank you for not only being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 badge, but also thank you for the $10 donation. I greatly appreciate that. But everybody, I got to go. I got to do the family stuff. But yeah, just consider what I said. We'll talk more about this the next time we talk. But have a blessed evening, everybody.